Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions because Jungkook's hype shares were stolen.
what?
I don't know.
1. BTS's Jungkook faced a major security breach in January 2024 when 33,500 of his HYBE shares, worth 8.4 billion won, were stolen during his military enlistment. A thief illegally opened a stock account under his name, transferred 33,000 shares, and sold 500 to a third party. Big Hit froze transactions immediately, preventing further losses. Jungkook
But it just happened over a year ago. Why are we talking about this now?
I wonder if they recovered it. Maybe we're getting the final
Update?
follow-up
Maybe.
update. Yeah.
sued to reclaim the sold shares, winning a court order for their return in 2025. Though the perpetrator remains unidentified, the odds of catching him are slim to none. This was a brazen exploit of systemic negligence. Jungkook's military enlistment was a golden window for the thief. HYBE stock system clearly had zero safeguards to flag a
How?
sudden unauthorized account opened in a top artist's name.
I guess notifications go directly to him, like he has the final say. I don't know how. Maybe
I'm not sure how that happened.
because I would think he would live like maybe his phone or something for notifications with a trusted account holder.
No.
You know?
So he didn't have the account. Somebody opened an account in his name.
Uh,
So when they
while
set
he
up,
was enlisted, so you wouldn't see it?
yeah, when they set up an account, they directed it to their own phone or whatever.
So even if he was here and available, he wouldn't have seen it because
Yeah, I don't think him being enlisted is relevant in this case.
okay, that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's so interesting.
While he was literally in boot camp. That's not a loophole, that's a gaping crater in their security protocol. And let's not pretend this exists in a vacuum. Jungkook's passport leaks, Jimin's mail theft, RM's flight info and the members' home addresses flouting YouTube aren't bad luck. It's a pattern of HYBE treating privacy like an optional upgrade, not a basic right. Fans can literally Google Earth Jungkook house, yet we're supposed to believe they're investigating? Please, the thief could be sipping coffee in a HYBE boardroom for all we know. Because when you've got employees leaking data and sayings posting real-time stalker updates,
I don't know
accountability
how
evaporates.
well, the passport information, that's sus. But like when it comes to like addresses, here in the States it's easy to find like celebrities' addresses. I don't know how it is in South Korea.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't understand how this happened. I mean,
Yeah.
they did, I guess, freeze it immediately when it happened. So
So they are on it.
I feel like it. So like it didn't happen. He didn't lose the shares. Cause
But still they want, like, why were they breached in the first
no,
place?
right, yeah, that part I don't know. Cause like what? HYBE sees that Jungkook shares were sold. They're like, oh, Jungkook, why you don't want to be with us no more? They don't even bother asking. Like, what? This is not some random trader that sold the shares, you know? So I don't. But it seems like that it never got to that, so they kind of handled it. I'm just confused why we're talking about this now.
Even if they do find the culprit, Jungkook's shares aren't the real loss. The damage is irreparable. His personal safety, trust in his own company, and the glaring truth that HYBE's action is just damage control theater. They froze transactions? Cool. Now do something about the 100 plus YouTube tutorials mapping his bedroom window. Until HYBE sues platforms hosting stalker content, lobbies for stricter cyber laws, or actually
And
locks down their artists' data.
that's not the company, that's the people. The people have to stop being weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
This security overhaul is a temporary fix that will crumble with the next headline. 2. Sserafim just got their first music show wins for Hot, and the timing of this win, so close to New Jeans losing their injunction, feels like karma in its sexiest dress. The encore was solid. I saw a huge improvement compared to their infamous Easy encore that went viral for all the wrong reasons. Kazuha in particular really stepped up. This encore also proves why line distribution is the
It's Kazuha, the one we did the video on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So that's good for her.
way it is. When Hot dropped, a lot of fans were complaining. Sakura deserves more lines. Yunji's being robbed. Cry Me a River. HYBE's not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing, giving Yunjin and Chai 170% of the song. Those two could sing the phone book and make it chart. Meanwhile, Sakura's lines are as flat as my ex's personality. But guess what? She sounds good because they're tailored to her range. Fans act like unequal line distribution is a hate crime. But if Sakura tried to tackle Chaewon's ad-libs,
I don't know if that's a drag.
It is. Because they say, oh, all the art, there shouldn't be line distribution. Everyone
No.
get
I'm talking
equal.
about her ex's personality. She's kind of dragging herself by that. You were the one who was with that person, though.
But she left that person.
Yeah, but why
That's
were
it's
you
the
with that
ex.
person?
Every time when people break up with the ex, they say bad things about
Yeah,
the
but
ex.
like, why were you with the person in the first place if
They
they
didn't
were
know. I
flat?
don't know.
What do you mean you did? So you saw something in them, right?
You see, her personality is not flat. She needs to be with someone flat, so it balances out. Two people cannot
So
be
I
like
guess that was
her.
the compliment. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
Two people
we
cannot
need
be
an
like her
emergency
in a
vocal coach and a
relationship.
fandom apology tour. HYBE's letting the strong singers carry the song while the others serve face, charisma, and exactly what they're capable of. 3. Self-love songs are as authentic as James Charles' tearful apology videos. Take CLC's No, a track that roars, red lips? No. Earrings? No, while the music video serves red lipstick so bold it could fund a Sephora branch, and earrings so extra they'd make a chandelier blush. The message? Be yourself, but only if yourself fits our meticulously curated visual brand. Idols aren't rejecting beauty standards, they're rebranding them. The no makeup look requires 12 skincare steps, a dermatologist on speed dial, and enough foundation to spackle a wall. It's not liberation, it's marketing. ITZY's Wannabe is a bop about loving your unique self, belted by women sculpted by years of trainee starvation, laser hair removal, and stylists who'd faint at the sight of a stray eyebrow hair. Yuna and Yeji didn't embrace their quirks. They were handpicked.
I mean, they do come fake, but to be fair, all K-pop music comes off fake to me because they're all like controlled environments, so it's like it doesn't really matter. Not all, like there's like BTS, they write their own stuff cool, you know.
Yeah.
Now the Blackpink girl solos, yeah, but like when I say all, I'm talking about like majority aside from the major couple groups.
For visuals that align with Korea's narrow
And
beauty
it's
ideal,
understandable
telling fans
because
to
you
love
know it's the industry, like the label has a lot of control over it, and they still want their hands on it.
themselves while flaunting features enhanced by a team of makeup artists is like Elon Musk preaching minimalism from his gold-plated yacht. It's not inspiration, it's delusional elitism. BTS's Love Yourself campaign raked in billions while the members starved on kale diets, bleached their scalps into oblivion, and posed for Gucci ads that scream your self-worth is tied to consumption. RM's I'm the One I Should Love hits different when you're hawking $300 sneakers to teenagers. The message isn't radical self-acceptance. It's self-love as a product, packaged and sold by an industry that profits from your insecurities. K-pop's self-love anthems are threats and glitter. Idols don't have the luxury of being themselves. They're contractually obligated to diet, die, and dehumanize until they fit the mold. The message is clear: love yourself, but only after we've photoshopped, liposuctioned, and market tested you into oblivion. And stans? They'll scream yes queen, slay insecurity, while bullying idols who gain 2 kilograms or dating unworthy partners. The same fans demanding authenticity mass stream
Now, why do they
where
have
idols
him in
are
a crop
airbrushed into
shirt? That
uncanny
does
valley
not
mannequins.
look nice.
It's not
I don't
solidarity.
like this outfit.
To show abs, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not the way to show it.
It's cognitive dissonance. A Stockholm Syndrome dance where fans applaud their
Ooh,
own
that was
exploitation.
cool.
The industry's Love
Whoa.
Yourself mantra isn't activism, it's misdirection. By focusing on individual flaws, they ignore the systemic rot, exploitative contracts, eating disorders, and the psychological toll of living as a branded product. Real empowerment would mean unions, transparency about plastic surgery, and dismantling beauty standards,
this visual
not
right
selling them.
here, I'm thinking the song "I'm Just a Freak," yeah. Dun-dun-dun. That's what I keep thinking in my head when they show this visual.
Back to us as anthems.
She's right. The K-pop idols should unionize, but you know that's not happening. So
Well, then they have to be treated
Four.
not just as talent, but as workers. They don't have workers' rights.
right.
Comebacks aren't idols' only job description. Stans act like comebacks are the holy grail of hard work. But recording music is maybe 10% of an idol's job. The other 90%? Endorsement shoots, airport fashion marathons, TikTok dances for brands nobody asked for, and rehearsing the same concert choreo until their knees give out. Idols aren't just performers, they're human billboards. Think 14-hour days shooting cosmetic campaigns, transcontinental flights for fashion weeks, and the emotional labor of pretending you've loved perfume since the womb. Each event requires media training, stylist negotiations, and the pressure to trend on Twitter in 14 languages. But fans dismiss this as easy work because it's not a music show win. Newsflash: smiling through a migraine at a champagne-soaked gala is labor. World tours aren't vacations, they're physical marathons. Imagine rehearsing in freezing arenas at 3 a.m., surviving on vocal rest diets, and sleeping upright on planes to avoid face swelling. The mental toll of living out of a suitcase for months? The industry shrugs. Idols aren't robots. They're humans with circadian rhythms, not content machines. Even during downtime, idols aren't lounging. They're dieting year-round to squeeze into sample-sized designer outfits, training daily to maintain vocals/dance skills they'll reuse for the next tour.
It's not
Media
easy. It's not easy, but it's not like, I wouldn't say people are forced into it. They kind of like.
I don't think she's making that, oh, we should feel bad for idols point. I think she's just saying that there's more than just comebacks. So like, stop bitching about not enough comebacks because they you know they do other stuff. It's just true. I mean, she's not wrong in that. Yeah, they, especially the bigger idols, you know, like we see the Stray Kids, they spend a lot of time modeling and traveling, you know, to Milan and you know Paris for fashion weeks and whatnot. So yeah.
Trained to dodge scandals and plastic surgery upkeep. Sudden hiatuses that are really nose touch-ups. This isn't rest, it's invisible labor. The behind-the-scenes grind fans ignore. Because it's not packaged as content, idols aren't just singing. They're clowning for cameras on variety shows, laughing at unfunny jokes and competing in cringe challenges to stay relevant. It's emotionally exhausting. But stans call it fun because they've never had to eat live octopus at 8 a.m. for a 5-second clip that'll be memed into oblivion. Stans scream where's the comeback while also demanding HD fan cams. Live stream at
haven't seen
midnight and
anything like
TikTok
that.
dances. It's a loose.
What, the octopus? Live
Yeah,
octopus.
yeah. Wait. Maybe like from a mukbanger, but not from like an
Sounds like a
idol.
challenge.
Yeah.
Lose trap. Release more. Music? They're overworked. Focus on tours and brands? They've abandoned music. The truth? Companies prioritize profit streams that don't require splitting revenue with Spotify. Why risk a comeback flopping when
Yeah.
you can monetize an idol's Instagram feed? It might sound stupid, but music doesn't pay. Albums? Singles? Those are lost leaders for the real cash cows. Brand deals and CFs, a luxury ambassador contract can bankroll an entire company quarter, while music revenue gets split 15 ways. Members, producers, the CEO's yacht fund. Idols aren't underworked if they're not pumping out comebacks. They're being funneled into more lucrative.
I mean, I don't know. What she's saying is truth. I think she's just ranting, because I don't think she's in the music industry like that either. But, she is right in the sense that businesses do whatever brings the money. So, I don't know if the albums are truly lost leaders, if they lose money on them. I don't think so. I think they make at least a little bit. But if there's ways to make more money than just on albums, they will definitely take it.
And exhausting gigs. 5. Performing while injured, sick, or in a hailstorm isn't professionalism, it's corporate sponsored self harm, glorified by fans who've confused exploitation with dedication. The industry runs on the lie that pain equals passion. But idols aren't circus animals, they're humans with expiration.
I don't know. It depends. If you forced by the label, sure, but if you volunteer, I think it's professionalism, because at the end of the day, people pay to see you. They pay
Yeah.
to see the full group. They don't just pay to see 3 members. If there's 4, they're like, say, Blackpink. If one of the girls are sick and takes off, basically a quarter of the group is not there. So what? Do you reduce the price by quarter? No, they pay to see all of them perform. So there is definitely professionalism in there. I don't think it's
Remember-
all about the label forcing them.
Remember one time we seen one person was unable to dance, but they had a chair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's professionalism to me. That, I don't know.
It's interesting to see because you're thinking, okay, wow, just take the day off, or
Like, without context, watching it, like, oh wow, we've never seen that before. But understanding the context, they were, they had it scheduled and something happened, an accident, the person still pulled up because people paid to see them, and especially if it's like a vocal, because if it's a dancer and they sit in this
oh
thing,
yeah,
who cares?
yeah.
Go home. But if it's like a lead
The lead
vocalist,
vocalist that's doing 75% of the vocals.
Yeah.
We need you. We
Yeah,
need
we need
you.
Dates. Every time you praise someone for powering through, you're telling companies they can keep cutting corners on safety. They've weaponized the word professional to mean shut up and dance even if you're coughing blood and stands are eating it up. Performing in a literal hailstorm isn't a flex. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yet fans screamed queens.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should perform in the rain though. That's not professional at that point. Like, overall, that's just dangerous.
Yeah.
Professional.
concern.
But like, if you have a little flu, and to show, but I don't know if flu affects your singing though. That's kind of like in a different.
When you're sick, you're like a baby.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, when you sing, I think your throat, you can't really sing if you have like a little flu because your throat hurts. So
But there's things you can do to kind of like try to make it a little bit better.
yeah, maybe I don't know if you can perform through a flu like in this case. That's a little. What would be like a different example of like a minor or something that, because flu is usually like like in sports you can play through a flu if like you really have to and in this I don't know if you can perform through a flu though.
But mind you, they're already on like very strict diets, so it's not like they have much support if one
Yeah.
is lacking.
As if slipping on ice mid-choreo is a badge of honor. Imagine if your boss forced you to work during a tornado and called you dedicated for not fleeing. That's not professionalism, it's labor abuse. And celebrating it tells companies they can keep risking idle safety for clout. Same with G-Friend's infamous stage spills. Those viral clips of them wiping out on wet floors weren't iconic. They were evidence of negligence. Where were the staff mopping the stage? The non-slip mats? Praising idols for surviving unsafe conditions is like applauding a doctor for saving a patient while you're the one who poisoned them. In sports, an athlete playing through a torn ACL isn't hailed as a professional, they're reckless. Coaches bench them to prevent career-ending injuries. But in K-pop, idols are performing with broken ankles and concussions. Twice Jonghyun pushing through
Wow.
severe anxiety.
I mean, she used an extreme example, torn ACL. Yeah, sure, that you can play through that, but sprained ankle, yeah, people sprain. It depends how big the game is. People play through sprained ankles, like a minor injury. We talk about minor stuff here. We're not talking about major. Like, yeah, if somebody broke a leg, That's major. Like they, okay, they
Mhm.
can't dance, period. So yeah, but if I just don't know what would be like a minor that you can still kind of perform through though. Cause flu, I don't think you can perform through a flu just because you can't sing. I don't know what. Stomach virus, let's say. Okay, maybe you can perform through something like that. Just you have to go use the restroom a lot. I don't know.
Attacks on tour, fans called it brave and not why did JYP allow her on stage. Idols aren't gladiators. They're workers. Romanticizing their pain as dedication normalizes exploitation. Stans love to trend hashtag let them rest when an idol faints mid-concert, then turn around and call groups lazy for canceling a show due to typhoons.
The
Companies
thing
know
with her, I feel like she's very extremist. It's when she takes a point, it's always like to the extreme. Like it's not always the case that it's always extreme though.
fans will blame schedules as some abstract villain while still buying tickets to the same exploitative tours. It's easier to stand a martyr than admit your concert ticket funded their burnout. And while we're at it, idols picking up a fallen mic or slipping debris off stage shouldn't warrant OMG. True professionals' reaction. It's basic job etiquette, yet fans treat these moments like Nobel Prize feats. Why? Because the bar is buried 6 feet under. When the standard is didn't
Yikes.
faint on stage, of course wiping sweat gets a standing ovation, but by applauding crumbs, fans train idols to prioritize performative perfection over basic human needs. So next time your fave stumbles on stage, don't hashtag professional king, demand their agency fix the freaking floor. 6. J-Hope's single Mona Lisa
She
is
cursed.
I will give her this though. She is very creative in like how she comes up with shit to talk about. She posts a daily video, and she comes up stuff to talk about like this professional. Where she pulled that from? That's not news. Like it's easy when there's news to talk about. That's easy. But like she's here in this video, she's coming with like a random stuff to talk about, and she does that on the daily. It's not easy.
giving 2019 BTS demo. Apart from the stunning choreo, Mona Lisa leans heavily into a formulaic trap beat and repetitive hooks, prioritizing Spotify-friendly brevity over anything else. The production feels sterile, with over-the-top autotune dulling his energy and the verses and choruses blending into a monotonous loop. I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. 7. A.C.E's contract with their
Nah, I give it a 10. I think it's a really good song. I enjoyed it.
Her
1 plus the 9.
Her feedback. That's interesting.
That's a good song. I liked it.
company B Interactive is up on March 31st. And get this, the company's letting them keep the group name and all their content, no strings attached. That's rare in K-pop, especially for a small agency.
Good for
Honestly,
them.
it's wild their label even stayed afloat this long. A.C.E had decent international buzz, sold out tours, but the company fumbled hard behind the scenes. How'd a tiny label scrape together cash to keep them going 7 years? Miracle? More like duct tape and prayers. No shock the members are bouncing.
Wow.
Well, hopefully they have better luck with their new label, but good for them to keep their own stuff.
Yeah. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.